One finger. Oh, let's see. Open a beer.
Way too much. For my third glass, at least. We'll find out.
We're already getting a good little roll going here, guys. Or on a roll. On a roll? On a roll.
Roll. Like you're rolling your wheels or getting rolling.
Got the wheels spinning. Zach's on his half a bottle of vodka. Alcoholic. And I am on my fourth little brewski here. We're just getting started, guys. If you haven't seen, we're going to post our last podcast first or this one first.
The last one will go first. It's scheduled for like a week from now.
The MRE. So, yeah, guys, if you didn't see that video, me and Zach ate some, they're 7 or 8 years old MREs?
6 years.
6 years. 6-year-old MREs, which, of course, is in shelf life, but Zach tried them for the first time, so that was pretty fun.
And if you know we had bad audio at the beginning, it's because this wasn't recording. So watch me get up and double check, make sure we're recording.
Let's double check, because otherwise you're going to get phone audio, which can be okay, but also for a podcast is not very good.
Yeah, I'd rather do the phone audio for our outdoor shooting videos versus, stuff where we have to do it. If we're in the studio, we should have better audio.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got a couple things to go over here today, guys. Zach, you want to start us off with what are you thinking?
All right. Well, what I'm thinking is the big topic, the main headline that we put on this one. Is how much money you make off of hot shot trucking, man. You've been doing it for a couple weeks now.
That's right, yeah.
You're kind of getting into the swing of things. You're learning how your day-to-day goes. You're traveling around the country. So we ran some numbers, which is what we're holding here. You have your first 2 weeks, a full work week, and then a half week. And we're going to compare how those numbers look, what they mean versus what they actually end up, like what take-home pay, and if it's worth what Kyle's going for.
Yeah, a lot of hot shotters that do YouTube full time. Obviously, that's not me. We're just doing clips here and there, all of it, talking about it a little bit, because this isn't necessarily that type of channel. But we're going to touch base on it. But a lot of the sole hot shot channels, they only talk about the gross. They don't really talk about after the deductions. You'll see we did 7,700 this week or something like that. Well, that's before any deductions. Okay, so we're going to break it down and see how I did on my first 2 weeks, which we did a 5-day week, a full 5-day week, and I did a 2-day week because I had some personal stuff to take care of. So really it's for 7 days, but we'll start with week 1. It was a pretty good week for my first week.
Yeah, you traveled, you worked 5 days that week, so you traveled 2,600 miles, what I got here. So you traveled a little over 500 miles a day. Let's say, what are you averaging, 60 miles per hour kind of thing?
Average, I'd say 65. Most places that I go through, because when it comes to being on like the town roads, it depends where you are, but
you catch it back up on the interstate, but you drag it in the towns.
Exactly, yeah. I would average about 65, I'd say. There were certain towns where I'd be doing 45 for like an hour, but for the most part, I'm on open highway.
Yep, so you're floating around. This is about an 8-9 hour driving per day.
Yeah.
So it's basically worked a full shift 5 days a week. Now, your total payments on that, I have the number $4,300 written there. Now, that is pre-everything.
Yep, $4,300 gross for my very first week ever. Didn't book any of my own loads or nothing. Like, that was my very first week.
Yep. That's good money right there. All right, now, he's made $4,300. He's got to give 20% of that to the broker who's getting the loads, handling the insurance, DOT, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They took away $860. I'll have some of these numbers pop up on the screen as we go along as well. That way people can kind of see what we're looking at. I'll show them the page that we're looking at.
Yeah.
All right. Then you have your deductions, which is what you spent on fuel, what you spent on a shower, food, things like that. For that first full week, we have $920. Do you feel like that's average? Do you feel like you ate a little more on your first week? You feel like you
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, so that's with your fuel. So, your fuel, you're towing. And for me, my lightest load was like 5,000 pounds. My heaviest load was, for my first week, my heaviest load was about 10,000 pounds, which is a pretty good load. 10,000 for a non-CDL, that's in a 2,500 3/4 ton truck. 10,000 is a pretty good load. So when you do those bigger loads, your fuel mileage is going to go down. Especially, I was in West Virginia a lot, and that's up and down mountains a lot. So that it ate quite a bit of my fuel. So I'd say about 75% of that's probably all fuel related. You spend money on showers. Showers are typically about $15 to take a shower. And then I don't spend a lot on food because my wife meal preps for me. I probably spent that week maybe $60 on food and drinks.
That's not bad at all for a full week. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. All right, so that's not too bad at all. Most of that's probably fuel. There's a little bit of shower and food in there, but
yeah, the showers kill you more than the food does.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm spending in 5 days times 15, that's 30, 60.
$75.
Yeah, $75 a week just to take showers. And some places are even $17 or $18. But average is about $15 bucks. And the nasty mom and pop truck stops are about $8 a shower. But they're the kind of showers like you want to wear shoes because you see hair in the drains. It's pretty gross. I try to avoid those. I try to stay at the Love's truck stops. They're the nicest ones, I think.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about those. They offer even like repair options and stuff like that. I heard Love's is a pretty good one for a lot.
Wish they'd hit us up and sponsor video.
Hey. Oh, man. All right. So after fuel, shower, food, broker, original 4,300 is now 2,520 is what I got. Over 5 days, I'm looking at $504 every single day in take-home pay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, there is one thing that I don't put in my deductions that a lot of hotshot drivers will. I'm just taking money out every week. So they say you want to put out about anywhere from 20 to 28 cents per mile. You want to take that and put it in a separate account for wear and tear for your truck, like your tires, your trailer tires, any maintenance like oil changes, fuel filters, all that stuff. But what I'm doing, I'm just putting like $200 a week up, which is pretty equivalent, but to me it's just easier to do the numbers that way.
Yeah. So yeah, 30 cents a mile, I could see that making sense for what you're doing, for like how much you're doing. So let's do some quick math. You set aside $200, but 30 cents a mile on 2,600, well, you're looking at 10 cents a mile, you're looking at $260, aren't you? No. Yeah.
Something like that. We should have got a calculator. That's all right, though.
Yeah, no, 10 cents a mile, you're looking at, $260. So you'd want to do that times 3. They're telling you to set aside $700 on that first trip just for repairs.
Yeah, see, well, too, with my truck, because I don't drive a semi. I drive, like I said, I drive a 3/4 ton pickup truck. So I have a 3-year unlimited mile warranty on my truck, commercial warranty. So they know I'm using it for hotshot. So the commercial warranty is expensive. It was like $4,800 for 3 years, but it's unlimited miles, all the miles you could want to go. So those type of repairs, I'm not too concerned about. It's more like your brake pads, your oil changes, just the typical wear and tear stuff. But thanks to the engine brake on that truck, brake pads are going to last a long time. The engine brake is amazing. I mean, I can have my trailer loaded with 11,000 pounds plus the 6,000 pound trailer. That's 17,000 pounds, and that engine brake will stop it going down an interstate mountain with not touching the brakes on the trailer. That engine brake will stop that trailer. It is ridiculous.
That is impressive.
It's it's a very impressive truck. The engine is, and it's crazy because when you press your brakes, the brakes and tow haul mode, your transmission, it kicks up to slow you down. The brakes and transmission don't have nothing on the way that engine brake handles. Like, you can feel the brakes and it's a slight amount. That engine thing, you feel the truck's energy just go backwards. It's crazy.
It's interesting.
That is crazy. All right, so let's say you were to set aside, let's just round it to 5 for this one. They're recommending higher. You're actually only saving 2 per week.
Yeah.
But this was a 5-day work week. Next week is going to be 2-day work week. And if you save 2 from there, you end up saving $400 total. We can go back on that one a little bit.
Yeah.
But let's say you did, okay, well, you said you only set aside $200.
Mm-hmm.
you are now down to $23.20 in take-home pay in 5 days.
Yep.
Now, I'm not sure about this part. Is a question I had. You're responsible for your own taxes at the end of the year, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So, what percentage are you setting aside? On mine, when I did my own businesses, I always set aside 15%.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at on it because, especially doing this, your mileage deduction is ridiculous. I mean, you're going to get, if you do your taxes right, you can still get money back at the end of the year. You just have to be smart with it and know how to do it. But the mileage that you're going to put, I mean, I'm going to put probably in a whole year cycle, probably close to 100,000 miles. I'd say anywhere from 60 to 100,000, depending on how much work you do.
Interesting.
In a year's time.
Okay. So let's say you set aside, what, would you want to say 10% to keep the math simple or 15%?
I think we should just do 10 for the sake of... Yeah.
All right. So let's say 10% of your original payment. So let's say $430. So $430 out of the $4,300.
Well, see, so on my tax, when I get mine...
Is that after your broker payments?
It's after the broker, yeah, because the money that actually gets deposited into my bank account is after all the deductions, because we use credit cards.
So all that's hitting your account is the $25.20. Mm-hmm.
The rest of it, I don't get it at all.
Okay, so we only have to take $252 out for your take home.
Yep.
For tax purposes on that part.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're at $22.50 essentially. And then we subtracted, what was the last number that I just spoke about?
200?
Yeah, for replacements.
Yeah.
So you're a little over $2,000 for 5 days worked.
Yep.
Essentially in 1 week. If you were to run like this constantly, you can make $100,000 a year.
Oh yeah, easily. Like right now, if I'm on track to do $10,000 a month, which is just $2,500 a week, which I can hit $2,500 a week. That's $120,000 a year. So I mean, you can hit six figures. You just have to.
I mean,
find the right loads.
I'm talking after you set aside your tax money and everything.
Yeah, you still can. I mean, $2,500 is going to be a good week, not a great week. A great week, you could hit $3,500, maybe even $4,000. If the thing is since I'm just getting into this, so I'm not doing any partials. So if let's say I take a load that's on an 8-hour trip, and it takes up 16 foot of my 30-foot trailer, and they're paying me $210 a mile or something. If I find me a partial to take me that's in between that 8-hour drive to pick up and drop off, that could pay me another $400 or $500 that day, just to pick up an extra partial. So you can make, there's people that make $8,000 or $9,000 a week, but that's because they know how to book partials. I know how to, I understand how to book it, but you have to understand more of the time. You got to schedule your time frame right. It's complicated when you're first getting into it. As I learn it, I know I'll be able to do it. But right now, that's with no partials. I have not had the first partial. So if we're talking partials, that's easily another $1,000 a week, easy. You're just doing 2 partials a week. And if you got enough trailer, which most of my loads, the longest one I've done has taken up my whole trailer, but most of the loads only take up about half of my trailer. So I can do partials pretty much on most of my loads. It's just a matter of knowing. See, my first week, I didn't even think about partials. I was just I was focused more on keeping my trailer safe and my truck on the interstate. So it just, over time, you'll learn to do your partials, and that's when you can make even better money.
I agree. All right, so that's if you're doing this job full time, you're grinding, you're putting in 5 days a week, and then you're driving home.
Yep.
Now let's imagine what you kind of did on your week 2 because you were busy. What somebody who was doing this part time might be able to do.
Yeah, so this would be a good reference.
Actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so week 2, you worked 2 days. You drove a total of 850 miles. And you had a payment, I listed as $1,800 because technically he ended his last week driving home with the load and then finished the load off on his start of next week.
Yep, correct.
So that was half of a $900, and then he had another $900. So he had $1,800. Mm-hmm. The broker, of course, gets their 20%, which is $360. And he had $418.60 in fuel, shower, food in 2 days. Your take-home pay on that was $1,000, $1,021.40. Which
2 days.
Yeah, technically your per day was higher on that one. But let's talk a little bit about your mileage. You did $200 a week on your other thing. So this will be a bigger hit, but it kind of balances out not putting as much in on that first week as well.
Yeah.
So you put $200 aside after your take home, so you're down to $821, right? But you also have your, let's say, 10% taxes, which is $100 off of this one.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd actually be down to $721.
Yep.
So you're floating about $721 on a 2-day work week. He made $350 per day.
Yep.
And barely put any mileage on his truck with the little 850 on it.
Yeah, hell, actually, I worked 2 days, but I dropped that load off Monday morning because, Monday morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I left the house actually Sunday evening to head there, and I could have had 3 loads and made more money in those 2 days. I ended up spending the whole day in Panama City Beach by myself. Yeah. I took the whole day off after I dropped that load in the morning, took the whole day off, and the next morning picked up a load to take me back to the house.
That's another thing I want to talk about. That's actually a big point about you being a hotshot driver, driving a 3/4 ton truck versus a CDL driver.
Yeah.
They could not take their truck exactly where you went and just park for the day and go climb out on the beach and just spend the day out on the beach like you could.
Yeah, because my trailer's 30 foot. A lot of your CDL drivers are doing about 40, 45 foot flatbed trailers, which even a 30 foot, I mean, you've got to really find spots to park, especially in the cities, because there's not enough parking spaces that'll fit.
40 foot.
Yeah, 40, probably about 43, 44 with my truck, because my truck's probably about 12, 13 feet maybe. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it is hard. That's a challenge on its own, especially learning how to navigate your trailer. But once you learn it, you just got to keep in the back of your head, you got to be cautious, because if not, you make a mistake. I watched a driver that was beside me parked for the night, and there's a driver beside him. That driver decided to leave, ripped the whole brush guard and front bumper off his semi and kept going. Didn't stop. It was a Russian guy that got hit. He was honking his horn, cussing. I just heard him screaming in Russian and start talking to someone on the phone.
Yeah, some guy just took off and cost that guy a ton of money on insurance and everything else.
He was a company driver, so good for him, I guess.
Yeah, saved him on that one.
Day out of work.
But at the same time, you're still stuck there waiting on, truck repairs and everything else. And you could be stranded in some city. You know what I mean?
That's true. And they get paid by the mileage. So if they're sitting ducks, they're making no money.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So it shows this could pay as a part-time, but the reason you probably wouldn't want to do it part-time is because those truck and trailer payments hit every single month. Yep.
Unless you got about $100,000 sitting around, you can pay out of pocket cash up front for all this stuff. You're going to have payments on your truck and your trailer. You got about even a 30-foot trailer, you're about $12,000-ish or so, even with the less expensive brands. And then a truck, you don't want to start this guys on a truck you've got that's got 100,000 miles on it. You want to start for something fresh that you're not going to have to worry about, because I know everybody thinks their truck will be fine, but you got a truck that's been, let's say it's 10 years old and it's got 100,000 miles. Well, it's 10 years old, and you're about to be putting thousands of miles a week on it, guys. It's not a smart idea, not to mention when you got older stuff, the state troopers are going to screw with you more, because since it's older, they're going to try to do those DOT inspections and make sure everything is proper. And if not, you're going to get fined or maybe even put out of business.
Yep. So that's another thing too. He's taking the time to set aside money for repairs. If your repair hits before you got the money set aside, you could be stranded in another city with no money in your pocket and no way to fix your truck carrying a load.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if you don't carry a load, you just can't get home. Your truck's broke down and you have no money set aside yet. You have to be very careful and very cautious. If you are going to start with a more used vehicle, have some money in the bank before you start, because you don't want to get yourself stuck in Indiana, 700-800 miles from home, when you're just like, okay, well, I broke an axle on my truck. What am I going to do? And, even if you're not currently carrying a load, if you are carrying a load, who knows what you have to do, call your dealer or broker and be like, hey.
It's a messy situation to be in.
Exactly. So he went the safe route. He bought a new truck. He bought a new trailer. And he has some real payments that are going to cost him, a decent chunk of money. But he's making, as you can see, about $500 a day, even after and that's before all the, what we talked about, maintenance and taxes. But even with maintenance and taxes, you're looking at, you worked 7 days, made $3,000, or actually a little under $3,000 because we set aside $400 on those 2 weeks for repairs.
Yep.
And then you set aside $350 for taxes. So $750 off of the top from $3,500. He's made $2,750 in 7 work days.
Yep.
On his vehicle, he's put 3,450 miles. He's going to have an oil change at 10,000 miles.
Yeah, every 10,000 on the diesels. I'm actually going to be doing that tomorrow. My oil change.
Heck yeah. So there's a real opportunity to make money here if you're willing to put the upfront cost out there. Now, the upfront cost isn't for everybody, though. And that's why a lot of people, get their CDLs, they drive for a company, and they're playing it safe, especially if you got a lot of kids or if you already got a lot of debt built up, things like that. Kyle has less debt. He's a little bit younger, so he's able to take more risks.
Risk it for the biscuit, guys.
Yeah. So, there is risk associated with this business, definitely 100%. But I wanted to talk to Kyle about it, see how he felt about it, see where he thinks he's going to end up, how comfortable he feels with it, how it feels, driving every night and just being stuck in your truck to go to sleep every night, because you're not in a sleeper.
Yeah, guys, you're not gonna, if you're doing hot shot, you're not gonna make money if you stay at a hotel every night. You're gonna be making like regular pay money because the hotel room's $100. You're gonna spend $500 a week on hotel rooms, so you have to rough it. You gotta sleep in your truck. And I have a regular pickup truck. Now, my situation right now is I use mine for at home too. That's not the plan here, hopefully, in the next few weeks, I'm hoping. But now when I do stop using it at home, I'm going to build a bed frame and put an actual mattress in there. And it'll be more comfy, but I'm 6 foot tall, so a cab is not 6 foot wide on the inside. And it's a little knee cruncher, but it's like once you get used to you find that comfort spot, you'll fall asleep because you're exhausted. I mean, if you're driving in a truck all day, which my average day is about 10 hours on the clock, but one day I was like 2 minutes shy or 5 minutes shy of my clock give me a violation for driving for 11 hours because you can only do 11 hours a day. Otherwise, you'll get a violation and you can't drive for 12 hours. And if you do that, you're missing out on a lot of money. So you got to make sure that you pull in. I'll have to see if Zach can splice in a photo, but essentially you have 4 clocks. You have one that has 8 hours on it, one for 11 hours, one for 14 hours, and one for basically the 14 hours times 7 for the week. So the 8 hour one tells you in 8 hours time you have to take 30 minutes off duty. The 11 hours that clock only is running while you are in motion because the GPS tracks you. The other clock, 14 hours, that's the longest shift you can have. So let's say you drove 11 hours. It's you don't really have to worry about that clock because when you stop for fuel, you're only given so much time for refueling. You're not on the clock for going and taking a bathroom break. You're only on the clock while you're fueling or, other stuff like that. So it's easy to get out of that. But that 8 hour clock and that 11 hour clock is your enemy because you got to make sure you stop for 30 minutes within those 8 hours. If you did 28 minutes and take off, hey, guess what? It didn't reset. You have to stop for 30 minutes. So that thing can be a pain in the ass, especially if you're in a hurry and a rush to get somewhere. And the 11 hours is a battle because if towards the end of the day, 4 or 5 o'clock, you have to find somewhere to sleep for the night, and a lot of truck stops are full, and some states don't even have, but very small truck stops or no truck stops. Maryland, I had to stay in Maryland my first week, and I didn't find any. I found one truck stop in the middle of nowhere, and it was an Indian truck stop, and it was big enough to park 50 trucks, but it was the size of the truck stop was half the size of your basement and had one bathroom. So you can imagine 100 truckers sharing one bathroom, what it looked like. I didn't use the bathroom that night or that morning. I just held it till I went to the next place.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's the thing. This is good money, but it's roughing it out there. You're not exactly just, sitting in your nice comfy office with your suit on, taking phone calls or answering emails. You're grinding for it. It's a good option, like I said, when you're younger, but also have the option to go out and buy a decent sized truck versus this is not the kind of job, like you said, you're 6 foot tall. You can barely squeeze in the bed of that thing. You don't want to be doing this for 20 years.
No.
This isn't the kind of career you sign up for a 401k on or anything like that. It's something to earn you some money by grinding hard and getting some pay.
Yeah, and getting this type of stuff isn't stuff you want to do long term, guys. It's a good way to make really good money in a quicker pace where you can do, you can invest it, and maybe you want to start a certain type of business or whatever you want to do. It's a good way to make investment money. For me, that's how I see it. Some people maybe want to do this the rest of their life. I don't know, but I definitely ain't ready for that. So
for you, it's a good way to get you a good head start in life, and then from there you can find you something that's a little more time crunchy or fits your lifestyle a little bit better.
if you guys hear that in the background, it's my daughter upstairs whining.
Yeah.
She's up there watching TV, so.
Does none of your apparel stress how good you are at shooting guns?
Do you want to walk around with a target on your back with no fear, like Zach over here?
We here at Southern Bang Apparel are here to solve all of your problems.
And strike fear into the heart of your enemies.
With our high quality merch, you can let everyone know I do not give a f***.
The link is in the description below. Buy now to start repping your favorite YouTube channel.
Alright, well, so we've talked about this. Now it's time to address the other half of our podcast, which is what we normally do, which is we're called Southern Shots, not just because we like to drink, but also because we like guns and ammo and, going out and shooting and having a good time. And we had a fun idea. You found a link to a Palmetto State Armory gun on sale.
Yes.
It was an M4.
Well, AR-15.
Yeah, AR-15. He found it for $289.99. Insane. Okay. This thing was marked down from what, $550, $600?
Yes, and now it's marked back up to that amount.
Which is what some of the people on our video are commenting. They're saying, hey, I followed the link. This is a $600 gun. It's like, yes. We got it on sale. Palmetto State always has sales. Check their deals page. It's a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Palmetto State. Sponsor us sometime.
Yes, absolutely.
We love your products. But you bought one.
Yes.
I came over to your house. We filmed you putting it together. We had some fun. Then we took it up on the hill. That one, we put it in like 8 different sections. Each one of,
That's the gun, by the way, guys.
Yeah, that is. So each little section we did its own kind of video on, and I spliced it together to put it to one quality build video. So we get done with that. We've been at this for 45 minutes. I'm recording you. I'm like, okay. Well, we got to make sure it works. We function tested it along the way, but now, time to put some rounds through it. Grab you some 5.56, some 2.23, a little bit of steel case, a little bit of brass. Let's find out what this thing can do. We hike up your hill. It is a steep hill, by the way.
My back property is actually, it's a mountain, but we're walking like a couple hundred yards up.
Yeah.
Maybe 200 yards.
It's a Appalachian mountain, so it's not like a Rocky Mountain where it's like vertical, but it's not easy. We hike up this thing. We're huffing air for a minute because we need to get back in shape a little bit better. I've been working in an office. You've been driving a truck.
Yep.
So we get up to the top of this hill, and we load some ammo in. I pull out my phone. We film a quick little, hey guys, check this thing out. We're gonna test it out. Kyle puts it out, clicks the trigger, nothing happens. And we're like, he's smacking it, hitting the thing, making sure the mag.
Yeah, I thought the bolt carrier wasn't all the way forward, so I hit the forward assist, and sure enough, that wasn't the issue.
Yep. Well, we found out later it was set screw we missed. We got that fixed. Not a big deal. That's included in the video as well. Now that video came out second. What we like to do is when we're filming stuff, we like to film shorts along the way. But hey guys, this is kind of what we're doing. You're going to get the full length video later on. This one bit me because the short we filmed was Kyle filming it because Kyle likes to do them on his phone. So I take this gun. I'm a right-handed shooter. My back is up the hill. This has no optics on it, no sights, nothing like that.
As you can see.
Yeah, it's just a 350 build. We're function testing it. I pull it up, put it on my shoulder. I make sure I've got decent form. I hunch over. I take a couple shots. I'm like, hey, fires well. He puts that video up on the thing. I find out, one, I am overweight. I know it, but not as overweight as I looked in that video because Kyle's filming me at a terrible angle.
The hill levels, guys. It's like...
Yeah. Well, no, I am fat. But at the same time... it was a bad angle for me. It looks like I'm trying to aim down the non-existent sight because I kind of was. I centered myself out of habit, and I'm just looking at the front rail like, whatever, man. I just want to make sure this bullet actually fires and doesn't explode in my face versus hits the actual target, which is, by the way, we're firing an AR-15 at something 20 feet away. It's not like I'm not exactly limit testing myself on how well I can aim at this case. I'm just trying to fire some bullets to make sure this thing doesn't explode. We post that online. I got roasted.
Haters.
Shout out to the guy who told me that it was a good idea to balance my recoil by using my pot belly. That was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie, that one got me. I was like, oh yeah, it does look like I'm balancing the gun on my pot belly when I'm shooting. That looks awful.
Yeah, that was...
This is a terrible angle. I'm hunched over and centering down the rail because it's just something that's center on the gun. It's kinda, you know what I mean? I'm not just trying to like hip fire it. I still want to make sure it fires. But God, I got cooked in that video.
Funny because the guy that probably said that probably is like the fucking bigger pot belly. He's probably some fucker like 300 pounds or something.
Yeah. There were some other videos that are like, who needs sights, blah, blah, blah. Guys, we know you need sights on a gun.
Guys, if you watch the damn... People are so quick to judge. It's like they don't take the time. If you would have took the time to even look at any of our other videos, you'd see, hey, these guys actually do shoot a lot, and they do have good optics. Like, yeah. Put two and two together. Like, and I did respond to one, and the guy was like, well, you guys should have said that it was a function check or something in the thing. Like, no, I listed it as a $350 AR-15 because that's what's going to get views. Not, hey, guys, I tested this thing without an optic because I just built it.
Yeah, guys, here's a function test we uploaded on YouTube. Check it out. I hope you enjoy this. It's like, no.
Boring.
We fired a $350 AR-15. That's crazy to me. All right. When he sent me the link, I thought it wasn't real. I was like, no, it's missing pieces. He goes, yeah, the lower receiver for $40. I was like, no way you built this thing for $350. He's like, yeah, I built this thing for $350. You want to see it? And I'm like, holy shit.
It's sweet.
I thought it was going to be like a metal stick. I ain't going to lie.
Well, see, guys, the sweet thing about this gun... I'm going to show you. So, this gun was $350 including the stripped receiver that we had to build, of course. Now, this is all Magpul furniture, guys. This isn't cheap China. Like, a lot of cheaper build kits are going to come with the cheapest AR-15 grip one could buy. And I do mean the cheapest, crappiest plastic you can get. This actually came with quality parts. Magpul handrail, Magpul grip, and Magpul adjustable stock. This is a good build kit for $289. Now, this one's not on sale anymore, but I did send some guys a link on another video if you want to check it out. It's the same thing, but it's the plum furniture, but it's like $299, I think. I think it's $10 more.
Yeah, it's still under $300.
Yeah, it's under $300, guys. Come on.
It's the same thing for a different color. That's crazy.
And obviously, yeah, I still don't have an optic on it because actually we did do a challenge for you guys. If you're interested, we do want to do a torture test on this, but I'm only doing it if we sell 50 items out of our merch store. Yep. Guys, you can get, there's things as cheap as like $16. The coffee mugs, I think, are $16. You can literally spend $16 and it helps us out because it's going to help us replace the damage we do to this, because if we turn this into a torture test gun, this is just going to be a beater gun for us to have on the channel. But I don't want to do that unless I'm going to be able to take the money to build something else, because I know I can build another one for, I don't mind going in a little bit if I got to, but I'm not torture testing this thing until we sell 50 items.
Exactly.
So you guys need to go on there and buy some merch. We have a new hat out. We've got, we do need to get some hoodies out. We'll have those out soon. We need to design some hoodies.
Yep. We need to come up with some more designs in general. We do have some like stealth stuff with the Tennessee logo if you want to rep that. But I understand if you're not from Tennessee, that may not be your thing. We'll test some different options out. But yeah, I'm not going to probably be reading comments after that one for a little bit. That would cook.
Hateful bastard.
Yeah, y'all suck, man. Nah, for real though.
There's so many haters though. But you can't make everybody happy. I mean, you could have, like I was telling Zach earlier, it doesn't matter how good of a channel you got, how many followers you have, how expensive the weapons you have are. You're gonna have people that are just there to say negative things, and it's one of those things. I don't understand why people do it, but like I said, everybody has that. So it's kind of just like you kind of just scroll past them,
Yeah. And there's a difference too. If somebody's on there like, hey man, don't forget to keep your elbow down when you're shooting. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's my fault. I'll let myself slip on that one. You are correct. I should have kept my elbow tight. You ain't gotta make fun of my belly when you do it, but
you could have left that part out of it.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm gonna respond to that guy's comment, tell him to watch this podcast once this one's up. Like, hey, we mentioned you.
Oh man.
Fucker. Be sure you subscribe, by the way, if you are seeing this. Yeah, if you're not subscribed already, just because you said a mean, hateful comment doesn't mean we don't want you as a subscriber.
And by the way, it's probably the last time we address a hateful comment in a podcast, because I don't want to get 50 more people trying to be in the podcast.
Hey, fat ass, I want to be in the podcast too.
Yeah, make a video about me.
No, guys, that's not how it works.
Exactly.
I'm just doing it this one time. But I've had haters say all kinds of crazy stuff over the years. I think my channel's it's 6 or 7 years old.
At least 6.
Yeah, my channel's pretty old, so I've seen a lot of comments over those 6 years. All kinds of hateful things, or just stupid people saying just stupid debates like you should do this or do that. I remember one time I shot a .22 long rifle. It was a video, and I shot it like once, and it was an actual hunting style .22 long rifle. And he was on my ass because I didn't have hearing protection or eye protection. And I was like, dude, I understand the importance of ear protection in certain situations, but if I'm shooting a .22 long rifle, I'm shooting it one time or even 10 times. Like, they're not that loud, and I'm not really that concerned about it affecting my hearing because they're not loud. And it was one of those things where I wasn't just shooting it to show it. I was shooting like a target or like something cool, like how many gallons of jugs or toilet paper rolls, something like that. It was one of those videos. But it was frustrating. I was like, what the hell? Like, come on, man, grow up.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's one of those things too where people haven't coached into them. Anytime it comes to something safety, if you see somebody not doing it right, especially when it comes to certain topics like guns, also when it comes to driving. If you ever watch a driving video on YouTube and you look at the comments, everybody's like, well, I would have done this and I would have done this and hit your brakes and I would have stayed at a further distance. Anytime it's a dangerous thing, everyone has a million comments about why what you could do is safer or better, and some of them are accurate. That one guy is technically correct. Every time you fire a gun, you should probably wear your pro. You should probably wear eye pro, but at the same time, if you're firing it once, you're allowed to take risks in your life because there's risks associated with everything. There's risks associated with driving in general. You know what I mean? Every time you get in your car, you're taking a risk with your life.
The bitch might explode when you turn the key.
Exactly. Same thing might happen if you fire a .22 long rifle one time. But odds are, if you're going to do it one time, say, listen, I'm not going to put on the ear pro. I'm not going to put on the eye pro.
No,
but
screw
if you're
that.
uploading a video, especially now that we're getting older and we're trying to be like better influences and role models on younger people as well, probably not a bad idea to always make sure we have our safety stuff on.
Not a bad idea, guys, but it's one of those ordeals. It really, to me, it always been situation. I've learned certain things the hard way. Like, I've had situations where I'm like, man, I'm glad I had eye protection. I did a video, I shot some bird shot at something. I don't remember what it was, but some of the bird shot bounced back and hit me. Now, birdshot, it's such a small pellet, it really didn't hurt, but I felt it. It was enough to like, ow. Like kind of like a bug bite or something, but it hit my glasses. Like, well, there's certain situations where I'm going to wear safety glasses. If it's maybe my first time shooting a new gun, or I'm shooting something that can in some way bounce back or shatter. Now, if I'm shooting a paper target 25 yards away and I'm shooting a rifle that I've shot for years, I don't really wear eye protection. I'll wear my ear and pro, but it's kind of pick and choose your battles.
Yep, I agree. Kyle, that's all I had for this week's topics. We talked about your truck, and we made fun of that one guy for making fun of me, I guess.
I made fun of that one guy. Let me see. I'm trying to think here. I feel like there was something else.
There was a few things we talked about, some different video ideas for the future, but nothing crazy. We just did an MRE video. Hope y'all enjoyed that one.
Yeah, you need to watch that one,
It
guys.
was gross.
Now, you guys, if you have any video suggestions, we're always open to any suggestions that are realistic suggestions that we can do. Let us know in the comments below. I don't think we've had a whole lot of people reach out as far as any real ideas on any recent videos.
And it kind of makes sense because we don't make a ton of money either. So they're like, well, if I want them to do it, I could probably just do it myself, kind of thing. But at the same time, we're willing to be more dangerous with it. But one thing, I forget what I was going to say. It was talking about the our more popular performing videos right now are things that are like some people find when they Google stuff. So that's something we've noticed. You may see us do more Temu products because people are trying to figure stuff out about that website. It's a weird, sketchy website, and if somebody like us is willing to be like, well, I'll put my credit card on there to see what happens.
Maybe get like one of those prepaid debit cards, you know what I mean?
That's probably, well, sounds like the child fell. But yeah, no, it's one of those things. I get alerts anytime there's a purchase on my credit card, so I can freeze it immediately.
Yeah, just freeze it immediately. Yeah, so I mean, I think it just depends, guys. It depends what kind of. I wouldn't do it on I'd do it on a card is going to tell you, hey, money's being spent. Yep. You don't do it on one of those cards that you never hear anything from. Like, I have one credit card that I'm sure you could max out and I wouldn't get an alert.
Yeah, you'd be like, well, that's weird. I got a thing in the mail saying I'm being sued.
I didn't pay for that.
When did I rent a car in Wyoming?
Yeah, guys, I mean, other than that, I'm trying to think. I swear there was something in my head I can't think of.
We had another video idea we need to do of me. I got that shoulder holster from Temu, but I also bought that new fancy jacket. We need to do see which one works better for me pulling the gun out.
That's right, your fancy jacket. That'll be pretty interesting. See how quick you can do it.
I'm excited to see how it compares to just a standard shoulder holster.
Somebody's gonna comment on your form when you draw, like, hey, you're not supposed to draw it like that.
Oh yeah. Another thing, we have super chats and soon to be memberships live. They may be live by the time this video goes up. If so, we're probably gonna try to do some live streaming stuff. Maybe I'll splice in a little bit of that. Maybe Kyle will do something on his own when he's like traveling or things like those. But we'll try to do a little bit of a live stream, a couple of videos, and if anything pops off and does well, y'all have the option to chat on there as well. And hopefully, if you want to reach out to us directly, that could be an option. And that way, we'll see what we can do on there. But we'll try we're going to come up with some live stream ideas. If you have anything for that specifically, that'd be something to good reach out to us about. Maybe do some specific challenges or things like that.
Thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers.
For 5K subs, man. That's crazy.
Woo! Yeah, we just hit it 3 days ago.
Yeah.
We cleared 5K, right?
Yeah, we were floating around like 4.8 for a little while. And then
Yes, it's weird. It's like we were at 4.9 something for like a few days, I felt like. Then all of a sudden it jumped 10 over.
Yep.
So thank you guys for 5,000. We're going to try hard pushing. I'm ready to hit 10,000 because that in between 5 to 10 is not really going to feel like anything.
Yeah. But every one of y'all matters on this one.
Absolutely.
So every time y'all pop into one of these new videos, we actually notice it. We notice that our new videos are getting just like 10% more views than our old new videos used to. And we've noticed that kind of like that trend upward, and that matters a lot to us. It's something we talk about basically on a daily basis.
Yeah, daily basis. That's what me and Zach typically talk about is this channel, guys. We're trying so hard to grow it, and We'd love to get to the point where we can do this full time. Unfortunately, we're going to need to grow the channel quite a bit before that can come. But every one of you guys subscribing helps a ton, because it's going to get us there a lot quicker, the more subscribers we get. And obviously, if you listened into this podcast this far, let us know in the comments below that you listened this far. I'm curious to see if any of you guys actually listened this far into it.
Yeah. I mean, I see some of the percentage statistics. They drop off a little faster on these videos because we tend to make them last a little bit longer. But it gives you more insight if you're a long-time subscriber to the channel, or if you're somebody who's actually committed to where we're going to go, then you want to check out this part into it and see what we're doing, what we got going on, what the plans are.
You know how that didn't get sent out?
Yeah, the dude never commented for the free giveaway.
If you watch this video this far, leave it in the comments below, and if the first person to watch it this far, we'll send out the giveaway to.
Comment the timestamp. If you comment the timestamp of right now, then we'll send you that.
It ain't a lie, guys. We got this is one of the survival kits right here, because the actual winner never claimed it. Yeah, but it might as well reward somebody. If you guys are listening to us, I mean, all this far, how long are we into this podcast?
I don't know. It's on my phone.
Probably 30 minutes or so. So, not too long, but this was a giveaway, guys. This was one of those. Was this from Temu?
Yeah, that's one of the Temu products we gave them.
Oh, that's why. What a dummy. Forgot to open the rest. Yeah, guys, the survival kit could be yours. And there's also a medical kit.
Yeah, right there beside it.
So, do that, guys, because the giveaway guy went. He started, we've mentioned this before, he started commenting a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden... Nothing. Like, come on, guy. Like, we can't magically send you something without some information or a point of contact, something to get a hold of you to get an address to send it to. So
yeah, we'll reach out to you. Send us your maybe a social or something, or not social media,
send us your social security number.
But don't comment on our YouTube video with your social security number. Please don't do that.
Yeah, do not do that. That is a horrible idea.
That is not legal advice. We will not need that, guys. This is not legal advice. Just don't do it.
Yeah, your social or an email would be very nice if you can do an email address.
If not, then just send us a link to your Facebook.
And we'll delete it immediately after we get it. Yeah. That way it's not out for everybody to see. And we'll reach out to you, and then we'll get it sent out to you.
Yep. All right. That's all I got, Kyle.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure you like, subscribe, check out the merch store. And thanks, guys.
Y'all have a good weekend.
I'ma get busy with it right now. I'ma get busy with the witty right now.